Hello, my name is Carol Caparosa, and I'm an artist-in-residence at the Georgetown Lombardi Arts and Humanities program. On a weekly basis, I come to the hospital carrying yarn, needles, and patterns, and I teach patients, family members, and hospital staff how to knit, and I do that either in a group setting or on a one-to-one basis. I do this as part of the Arts and Humanities program and also as part of an organization called Project Knitwell. Project Knitwell was started here at Georgetown almost 10 years ago, and its purpose is to use knitting as a wellness tool for those who are undergoing stressful situations. I can say firsthand that I have seen people feel a sense of calmness when they're knitting and also a great sense of accomplishment after they've completed a knitting project. So I've put together a video teaching the knit stitch. I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you'll be able to knit when you watch the video. If you'd like to receive materials, yarn, needles, and a pattern to go along with this video, please contact the Arts and Humanities program or Project Knitwell. Also, if you are already a knitter, we're also happy to provide you with a knitting kit. We have some that are scarves, hats, fingerless gloves, so we're happy to provide that to you if you already know how to knit. Again, contact Project Knitwell or the Arts and Humanities program. Thank you. Lesson number 1, the knit stitch. When you're knitting, you have 2 needles and a ball of yarn. And for this lesson, I already casted the needles on and knit a few rows because it's easier to teach that way. Once you learn to knit, we'd be happy to show you, and we'll make a video on how to cast on. But to begin, you want to have the needle that has the yarn on it in your left hand, and your right needle will be empty. You're in knitting, just like reading, you're always going to go left to right. So we're going to take each one of these stitches off the left needle and put it on the right needle. And the way you hold the needle is you have your thumb and your index finger up at the top, about an inch and a half at the top. And that's what's holding the needles. And these hands are resting here. And I'll demonstrate for 3 or 4 and explain to you what I'm doing. There's 4 parts to knitting. It goes like this: up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack. So I just moved one from the left to the right. Up the tree, so you're bringing the right hand needle underneath the loop on the left and you're pushing back. And when you do that, you have an X. Put your thumb and your index finger below the X. You wrap the yarn around the back, around the X, click it in, and then you take your index finger and push it straight down. Bring the needle to the front and take it off. So up the tree is number 1, around the tree is 2, down the tree is step 3, off jumps Jack is 4. Up the tree, or make an X, around the back, down the tree, or bring the X to the front, off jumps Jack. There's nothing that you need to be rushed about. This is something you do on slowly. Up the tree, or make an X, go around the X or around the back, push down the tree or bring the X to the front, off jumps Jack. See if any one of those resonates with you, the X or up the tree. Up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack. Make an X, wrap the X, bring the X to the front, take it off. So that's what you do, stitch after stitch. It's the same thing. I'm going to quickly move through some of these stitches so that I can show you what happens when you get to the end of the row. So I'm going up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack, up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack, make an X, wrap around the X, bring the X to the front, off jumps Jack. So I'm almost at the last stitch, and you do that exactly the same. Up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack. So you moved all the stitches from the left needle onto the right needle. To knit the next row, you're going to take, again, the needle with the yarn on it and bring it back into your left hand. And you want to have the fabric going towards your right needle, the empty needle. The yarn from the ball should also be in the front and go the direction of the fabric. And you want to notice that there's a big loop here at the beginning. This loop here, you want to just push it out of the way with your thumb and start again. Up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack. Up the tree, around the back, down the tree, off jumps Jack. So you're just repeating the same 4 steps. So I hope this helps you learn to knit. If you have questions, please feel free to get in touch with me, either through Project Knitwell directly or Arts and Humanities. Thank you very much.